Hey, Jake with B&H, and today I got my hands on the latest and greatest professional handheld camera stabilizers from DJI's Ronin series, the DJI RS2 and the DJI RSC2. Both of these gimbals will deliver excellent stabilization with upgraded structures, improved ergonomics, and stabilization performance. These gimbals were designed and built to deliver an unrivaled user experience for filmmakers, one-man crews, and content creators everywhere. Let's start with the RS2. This is the most powerful, small-sized handheld camera stabilizer that DJI has developed so far. And the most noticeable improvement has to be the carbon fiber access arms, which by the way is an industry first. It makes the DJI RS2 significantly lighter than the original Ronin-s, but still powerful enough to work with bigger setups and even small cinema-like cameras. The RS2 only weighs 1.3 kilograms or 2.86 pounds. The original Ronin-s weighed 4.1 pounds. And while the Ronin-s had an 8-pound payload, the RS2 has a tested payload of up to 10 pounds. DJI has said the RS2 could easily handle a Canon 1DX Mark III with an EF 24-70 f.28 lens. However, I just used my GH5 with a 12-35 lumix lens and it worked great. Years ago, I reviewed the original Ronin-s and I can feel the difference here. The RS2 felt solid in my hands without exhausting my arm. I was running around the Far Rockaway Boardwalk with no issue. I also really liked the aesthetic. The red outline on the carbon fiber access arms is subtle and sleek. It just looks cool. When you see it, you just can't wait to use it. On the new carbon fiber access arms, you will find the new mechanical locking system that we first saw on the original Ronin-sc, which means you can lock each individual motor on the RS2. This makes it so much more easier to balance the gimbal because you can balance one motor at a time while locking the other two motors, allowing you to balance much faster. It's also great to have in between takes if the gimbal is not in use. Just lock the motors in place and set the gimbal aside like I have right now. Locking motors also make it safer for packing when you are traveling. I also want to mention how much smoother the access arms feel. Making minute adjustments with each arm while balancing was a much more enjoyable experience than the previous version. Combined with those carbon fiber access arms is the brand new algorithm for stabilization called Titan. This next evolution of stabilization technology delivers very smooth results, plus it offers an additional level of stability with Super Smooth, which can be activated for increased motor capacity, and Torque, that provides flawlessly stable shots even when using longer telephoto lenses like a 100mm equivalent. Just make sure you attach the included lens support. The structural design of the RS2 supports versatile shooting modes. With NATO ports on both sides, you can hold the gimbal with both hands with additional accessories, or you can use the included bracket with the included tripod mount and switch to briefcase mode, which is a much more comfortable way to shoot, in my opinion. You'll also find a 1.4-inch built-in full-color touchscreen display, which can be used to check gimbal status, adjust parameters, and change gimbal modes. It will also display your live camera view and potential subjects when using ActiveTrack 3.0 in tandem with the Ronin smartphone app. Please note that live camera view on the touchscreen and ActiveTrack 3.0 require you to activate the Raven Eye image transmission system within the app itself. The Ronin app will allow you to perform balance tests, auto-tuning, as well as creative capture modes like motion lapse, time lapse, panorama. The RSC2 comes in a new compact case that has two levels. The top level contains the BG30 battery grip, a tripod mount, quick release plate, two camera risers, and a bracket for briefcase mounting. The bottom level contains the gimbal motors itself, USB-C charging cable, and 4 individual camera cables to connect your particular camera model to the gimbal. I love the case. It's small, lightweight, and more portable when compared to the old phone cases they used to come in. Plus it has a handle on the top for easy transport and plenty of pockets for all the accessories. Both the RS2 and RSC2 come with this new dual-layer quick-release plate that are compatible with Manfrotto and Arca Swiss type mounting. This allows for quick setup without repetitive balancing. We attached the Arca type plate to the bottom of our cameras and just slid it into the back of the quick-release plate, locking it into place. The RS2 offers the unique ability to make fine-tuned adjustments of the camera's placement with this brand new knob that helps balance camera payloads much more efficiently. This knob might have been my favorite part. It just makes balancing much more enjoyable. On the back of the RS2 handle, you'll find the trigger button. It's still there. Double tap to make the camera back to its center position, triple tap to go into selfie mode, and hold it down to lock it in place. Just above the trigger is the new built-in front dial for focusing your camera's lens if you have the DJI focus motor attached, which is sold separately. The RS2 now features a drop-in cartridge design for their BG30 battery grip. Simply remove the rubber protective mount and drop the RS2 gimbal onto the battery grip and lock in place. This new battery is a 1950 milliamp, 30 watt-hour lithium polymer, providing up to 12 hours of battery life. It does support the 24-watt fast charging and can be fully charged in about 90 minutes. The USB-C charging cable is included and connects at the bottom of the BG30 grip. The DJI RS2 is a great tool that helps users unleash their creativity and get professional-grade results with ease. Now let's move to the DJI RSC2. This is a more entry-level stabilizer with a weight-to-payload ratio that outperforms most gimbals out there, but what makes it even more advanced is the new foldable design. This will allow you to swiftly transform into one of 6 configurations for dynamic shooting while providing convenient storage. These gimbal configurations include the typical upright, flashlight, and underslung modes, but this new foldable design allows you to shoot in briefcase mode. I admit it was a bit nerve-wracking to unfold the gimbal with the camera on there. Once you get past the nerves, it is incredibly comfortable to shoot in this configuration, and the foldable design makes that possible. Once folded, it is as small as an A5 sheet of paper, making it easier to take anywhere you need to shoot. The RSC2 also provides a higher payload capacity than the original SC and can even support a Panasonic S1H camera with a Lumix S Pro 24-70 f2.8 lens. However, Dave just used his GH5S with the Lumix 12-35mm with an ND filter on the front, and it performed impeccably well, and it was incredibly lightweight. Neither of our arms were tired. We could have shot all day. Just like the RS2, the RSC2 also has the newly developed Titan stabilization algorithm, delivering unbelievably smooth results on top of the additional level of stability with Super Smooth, which can be activated once again for increased motor capacity and torque that provides flawlessly stable shots even with 100mm focal length attached. As long as you mount that included lens support, it's going to be stable. The RSC2 carries over the smartphone capabilities that the original Ronin-sc started, including Active Track 3.0 using the Ronin Raven-Eye image transmission system. The Ronin app will also allow you to use the Force Mobile mode, which turns your phone into a gyroscope. The gimbal will then follow the movements of your phone. This mode is also available on the RS2 as well. It's perfect if you have a larger crew. One can walk and move the gimbal through space while the other controls the motion of the gimbal itself. The RSC2 has the rear trigger button in the same place. Right above that is the built-in dial for adjusting focus when paired up with the DJI focus motor, sold separately. As I mentioned before, it too has the new dual-layer quick-release plate compatible with Manfrotto and Arca Swiss. Still has the mechanical 3-axis locking mechanism, although the design has been improved slightly, and it has the NATO ports on both sides of the handle. You will notice a new 1-inch OLED screen on the front that allows you to check gimbal status and adjust parameters by using the button and dial on the side. The RSC2 also comes in a compact carry case that has the same 2 levels. Top level contains the tripod mount, quick release plate, 2 camera risers, 1/4-20 screws, and individual camera cables for the remote triggering of the camera from the gimbal. The bottom level contains lens support, USB-C charging cable, along with the gimbal and battery grip. As they are now one complete unit, the battery grip is now permanently attached to the gimbal in this new foldable design. Speaking of, the USB-C charging port can be found to the right of the OLED screen and supports 18-watt fast charging, taking around 90 minutes to fully charge, providing you with a whopping 14 hours of battery life thanks to the 2 built-in 18650 cells that are 3500 milliamps each. Both gimbals provide you with the same gimbal modes. You have pan follow, which just follows your pan and tilt follow, which follows only your pan and tilt movements. FPV mode follows your every movement you make with the handle. 3D roll 360 tells the gimbal to rotate rather than pan, so you can get your inception type spinning shots. I've always adored the floating camera effect that a gimbal can provide. However, I always detested the annoying process of balancing a gimbal, but not anymore. Both of these gimbals are incredibly fast and easy to balance and really fun. The fine-tune adjustment knob was my favorite part of this new RS2 design. The Titan stabilization upgrade was evident. This is some of the smoothest footage I've seen. And they're both incredibly lightweight. Depending on what type of shooter you are, DJI has given you two very effective gimbal options. If you need the higher payload for more professional gigs, go with the RS2. Your arms will thank you for it. If you are new to the gimbal game and you're using smaller mirrorless cameras, the RSC2 is going to be a perfect fit. You're not going to want to put it down. So which gimbal will fit your workflow? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Jake with B&H. Just keep rolling.